The time after the wedding was pure bliss. They talked. They joked. And they laughed together. They worked together, helping each other doing common house chores. And it was more evident that Siti was also very industrious and handy in just about everything she did. Tun Utama could not decide whether or not he should take Siti Syarifah home, and presented her to his father. It had been 10 months since Tun Utama left his hometown, and he was still not sure what to do. He wished he would not have to go back home. Siti Syarifah could sense that something was wrong. When she inquired about what it was that made Tun Utama gloomy, Tun Utama told her the whole story. What if his father, the king, did not approve of his wife as a lady? Siti Syarifah said, "My husband, let's go home and see your father. I am pretty sure he is not a heartless man. Besides, with you by my side, I will go wherever you take me." Tun Utama finally agreed. He found a ship, and he asked the captain to take no other passengers. Juragan, the captain, happily obliged, since Tun Utama was paying him much more than what he would usually get on his best days. At the same time, the captain was hiring one new crew. Amid the farewell and the goodbye tears, the newly hired crew was watching them intently. "Father, when we arrive back home, I will make sure to send for you and mother as soon as possible," Tun Utama said, even though he was not so sure himself. The journey by the sea was to take several days at least, but it still would cut the time and make the journey much shorter than if they had traveled by land. Tun Utama very soon developed a deep friendship with Juragan, the captain and the owner of the ship, who looked like a rough and tough sailor, but was very kind at heart. For the most part, the journey was very enjoyable for the young newlywed couple, who everyone could tell were very much in love. But for some unexplainable reason, one of the crew made Siti Syarifah feel uneasy. She thought she might have seen the new crew before, but she just could not remember where, or when. But with Tun Utama by her side, her uneasiness soon disappeared. Besides, Juragan really tried his best to entertain them and to make their journey pleasant and enjoyable. After about 7 days at sea, they reached their destination, a small harbor about 1-day journey by land from Tun Utama's home. When they arrived, it was already night time, and too dark to moor the boat to the pier. And so they decided to lower anchor a few hundred yards from the harbor, and spend the night on the water. Late that night, while everyone on the ship was asleep, Bart, the new crew, lowered one of the lifeboats, and under the cover of darkness, he rowed quietly to the shore. Early the next morning, Tun Utama and Siti Syarifah were awakened to the sound of Juragan yelling and shouting at his remaining sailors. He had just found out about the runaway crew and the missing lifeboat. Tun Utama and Siti Syarifah said goodbye to the captain, and the captain was very grateful for the generous fare paid by Tun Utama. He wished Tun Utama the best and said, "My lord, any time you need my service, just let me know. I will always be at your disposal."